So, are you planning on moving to Tucson, Arizona, and you're looking for the best school districts, the best places to raise a family, and just want to get some nice mountain views? Well, in this video, I'm going to share with you guys some of the best locations that I have found since I done been here in this area, and we'll jump straight into it. So welcome back to another video. Welcome back to the channel. My name Anthony and welcome to the Blue Circuit. In this video, like I said, we're going to be talking about some of the best places to live if you're considering moving to Tucson, Arizona. Maybe your job is relocating you here. Maybe you're trying to find the best place to stay since this is going to be a nice retirement city for you guys and you're trying to escape the hustle and bustle. Well, in this video, regardless of where you at, hopefully I just can answer all you guys' questions. But in this one, we're going to talk about some of the best places that I have discovered to live since I have relocated out here. So the very first one, if you're feeling bad and bougie, if you got a little bit of money to spend, that would be Catalina Foothills. Catalina Foothills is probably one of the most suburban, closer to the mountains, and you're surrounded by everything if you decide to come to Tucson, Arizona. And I would say it's mostly the wealthy part of the area of Arizona. I'm not saying it's like you could tell that it's wealthy, but if you travel around Tucson, you can realize that Cali and the foothills, you can tell that there's money there. There's a lot of investments going on around there, and it's a lot to do. Cali and the foothills is also have one of the best schools, high schools that I have seen up there. Also, it's surrounded by I would call it like the luxury mall, which is the La Encantada Mall. That's one of the popular malls that you guys probably seen in my last video where we went to Apple store and we checked out a few restaurants like Firebirds or Frost. That's like one of the best gelato ice cream spots in the country. So yes, it is up there in Catalina Foothills. If you guys was wondering, if you catch my last few videos, so Catalina Foothills is nice. The median home value is around like $600,000 up there. The reason why is because you have those nice mountain views to look at. You're very close up on the mountains, and you're surrounded by everything. So around that area, usually you will find your Whole Foods, you'll find your nice breweries, you'll find your nice bars, you'll find your Tesla dealerships, all the stuff that you normally won't see in like a dense urban area. You could find it there with no problem. So that's number one if you want to consider. The second best place to live, which I also forgot to mention, there's no crime up there at all. The nightlife is a little bit better if that's something that you into or if you want to go out. Catalina Foothills is nice and also have cigar lounges and stuff like that. So there's plenty to do in Catalina Foothills if you want to get out and have a good time. The second place I would say, if Catalina Foothills is a little bit too much and it's out the budget, then the place that I first moved to when I was here was Oro Valley. Oro Valley is pretty much like the next sister city of Catalina Foothills. It's pretty much nice. It's more, that's where the retirees, I would say, stay at. Also, there is some young professionals. I'm considered a young professional, so I was looking for areas that's geared around my niche of people, young professionals, young families that's getting started in the community and getting started in the workforce and so forth, or been in the workforce for a couple years or so. So, yes, Oro Valley is my second best place I would say to live. It all depends on like your vibe and what you're looking for. Honestly, Oro Valley was nice. I didn't have any issues, no crime. There's lots of neighbors. That's something I should say moving out here to this state. There's lots of neighbors that are police officers, state troopers, sheriffs. So really didn't have to worry about like the neighborhoods. All these neighborhoods I'm listing for you guys are pretty much safe and most likely have like a sheriff that stays into them. Oro Valley is a sister, like I would say, like a Catalina Foothills. So you're going to still have those nice little access to the bars, the nightlife and stuff. It's just going to be like a little bit of a drive for you. So probably going to be like 15-minute drive for you to enjoy some of those things. So it was not bad, but you're still close. One thing I have noticed in Oro Valley is that they are building out there because it's pretty much more like a retirement city. I would say like there's not too much to do out there. There's the outdoor malls like the Tucson Premium Outlet Mall. That's not too far from Oro Valley, which is closer. And then you have La Encantada, like I said, but that's a little bit further. And then you have the Tucson Mall. Tucson Mall is pretty much like, I consider like the local mall, indoor mall. Not too many people go to, but there's still stuff for you to do there. Also, Oro Valley has, it's still growing because right down the street, I forgot what it was called, but right down there, they're renovating like a certain area where it's by Barnes and Nobles. They add like a huge parking center and everything. Like they just really like making it more outdoorsy as time goes forward. So Oro Valley is a very nice place for you to check out if you ever consider coming to Tucson. Next best place to live in Arizona if you decide to come here, and that would be Rita Ranch and Vail, Arizona. I'm mixing these two because Rita Ranch and Vail, you will see like different zip codes for those, but they pretty much are like in the same area. They're very close. Vail is probably south of Rita Ranch, but it's not too far. They both share the same strip and everything. So, with that being said, both of these are pretty nice. It's pretty much on the outskirts of Tucson, but it's still growing. I would consider Rita Ranch and Vail to be rural areas, because based on like how you see the areas and so forth, like they still have like 2-lane roads. They're kind of far off on the highway, because we only have one freeway or interstate, whatever you want to call it. But there's only one freeway, which is the 10. And further south you go down here, there's about what, 2 lanes, 2-lane highways on each side, heading north and south. Versus if you're going further north of I-10, I would say towards Oro Valley area up there, the highway kind of breaks off into like 3 lanes on each side of the road. So that's something else you notice down here. Trains are a lot heavier down here. That's something I must say. Like trains are running back and forth through Rita Ranch, in and out, going all the way to Phoenix or whatever. So trains are very heavy in this area, but it's not like disturbing your sleep or anything. But they just part of this area down here. That's part of the culture being down here in Vail. Far I say with the nightlife, it's not the greatest unless you want to go to a bar or you feel like going to a sports bar, that type of deal. That's what you want to consider nightlife for your deal. If you're like a young professional, you have young families, and you just want to go a night on the town, there's pretty nice little sports bars and restaurants like that for you to enjoy. Now, if you're looking for like the nightlife to enjoy clubs or whatever, Vail and Rita Ranch is not for you. But Vail and Rita Ranch is the best place for school districts, like especially if you're raising kids or whatever, all the way up to high school. Like they have some of the best school districts. So Catalina Foothills is probably like north of here, which is further away, like probably about what, 40-minute drive, I would say. Depends on where you at on the town. So if you want to be over there, that's how far it is. And it is a good school district, don't get me wrong. But the best school districts are pretty much in Rita Ranch and Vail, and that's south of Tucson. So it's not in the inner city. So that's something to be aware of. Lots of people attend the Vail and Rita school district, and that's just due to it's close to the Air Force Base. It's pretty much diverse over here. You do have some nice mountains and so forth, but it's still building out here. So before, it's a rural area, so there's not a lot going on. But in this area, that I have noticed is that they're constantly building out here. There is things to do, but I would say in the next 4 to 5 years, it's going to be a nice, thriving area for sure, especially because since I've been here and just traveling through Rita Ranch and Vail area, I have noticed like they're constantly building houses, and that's something else you will see out here. So that's something else to be aware of, and a nice place to visit if you decide to come to Arizona. I also must say that it is a little bit cooler down here because it's like you're in a bowl, because you have mountains surrounding you, so you're not going to get hit with that heat a lot harder if you go to Phoenix or whatever. So it's about like 10 degrees cooler here, especially because you're like sunken in. But yeah, that's it about for Rita Ranch and Vail. Nice area. Best place I would say is for family. It's nice oriented. You're surrounded by parks. You're surrounded by splash pads and stuff like that. So there are things to do. The next place I would say, for you guys to visit, and that is going, I would say, west of Rita Ranch and Vale, and that is Suarita. Now, Suarita is pretty much like Rita Ranch and Vale, but it's on the other side of it, so it's further west. Now, I only been over there like a handful of times, but so far when I've been over there, it's been nice. It's been a little bit more green, so if you're looking for like more green areas, like I would say that is the area you like to see, because every time I go over there and drive, like I do see nice, not palm trees, but they're like actual trees that kind of remind me of back home in Michigan, which is nice. Like I would say nice pine trees and so forth. You see lots of orchards over there. And Suarita is pretty nice. Now I only been there a handful of times, like I said, so I don't know everything that's over there. But so far they have pretty much of the same things. Like they have their nice fries. Fries, if you don't know what that is, like fries is Kroger's out here if you don't know. They do have their own Safeway. Safeway is pretty much the best thing I could say for you guys out east. It's like what would you call Safeway? I would say Safeway is pretty much like your, it's not fries, but I would say like your Myers. That's like an East Coast thing. Like you got your Myers, you got your it's not a Walmart, but it's like higher, it's higher end. I would say that like your Publix, I would say. If you're from Florida or something like that. So there you go. That's what a Safeway is. So that's that. But yeah, it's pretty much the same thing. It's still one of the good school districts over there. Don't know like how diverse it is over there, but I don't hear about too much crime or nothing happening in Suarita. So Suarita is a very nice place to stay over there. They do have some nice views, but overall, like so far since I done been there, based on my experience, like Suarita is a very nice area to stay in. Last but not least, I should say, is Sam Hughes. So Sam Hughes, we're gonna go all the way back up, and we pretty much like in the downtown area. This is for my people that's like want that nice little city vibe, and like they're used to a city, coming from a city, they want to be in the hustle and bustle a little bit. Now Sam Hughes is a nice area because now you are in the city. You're very close to the U of A, the University of Arizona College. You're close to the bars a little bit. Like you're in the mecca of like Tucson. So you don't have to really worry about like where to go, because you're like right there in it. So you're close to like the fast food restaurants. You're closer to like your grocery store. So you can get to what you need to get to in a very short amount of time, but you're gonna be dealing with like a lot of congested area, and you also may be further away from the interstate. And that's something I must say around all these cities that I have mentioned, that since we're only dependent upon the 10, which is the only highway in Tucson, which I really hate because the infrastructure sucks when it comes to that driving dynamic. You only have one highway to go north and south, to go through Tucson. But if you're trying to go through the city, there's no interstates. You're really riding through the city, like literally going through stoplight to stoplight. So that's very unfortunate. But yeah, being in Sam Hughes, like you're downtown in the city and around those surrounding areas. So if you're trying to leave quickly to get to work and so forth, you're going to be driving through the city for a little bit to get to the highway. Ore Valley is not that bad. It's like a 10-minute, 15-minute, depends on where you stay, to get to the highway. Depends on where you at in Vale or Rita Ranch area. You're not too far to get to the highway. That's pretty good there. Catalina Foothills, since you're north and you're deep into the city of Tucson, yes, it's going to be about 20-25 minutes just to get to the highway, because you're riding through the city. But overall, I mean, that's it. So you're still getting some good nightlife in Sam Hughes. The crime is not bad. It's still a good place to live because you're down there by everything. So you're gonna have those sheriffs, you're gonna have the nice police department, and plus, if you don't know, that the U of A is one of the D1 colleges here. I mean, so it's a big campus, and it's pretty much like the heart of Tucson, because there's no like professional sports teams here. So this is pretty much what all they have. This is all they got. So that is it. So you guys drop a comment below. Let me know what y'all think of the best places to live in Tucson, if you're like a Tucsonian, or you're from Arizona, and like which cities that you have visited. Or if you're just new coming into Arizona, y'all drop a comment below based on the cities I have visited. And like that, that's going to wrap this video up. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.